Please subscribe to our channel, Pacific Front Untold, and be sure to leave a comment after watching a video.
This post will delve into the ideology of the Black Dragon Society, focusing on its ultra-nationalist, expansionist, and anti-Western sentiments. It will discuss how these goals aligned with and influenced the broader fascist movement in Japan. One of the most promoted ideals of the Black Dragon Society was their political philosophy regarding the creation of a Pan-Asia. The political language the Black Dragon Society implemented involved the unification of all Asian people against Western influence. This, however, was a cover-up for the more extremist ultra-nationalist sentiments held by the group. As early as 1910, Pan-Asianist rhetoric was used by the Japanese government to legitimize the annexation of Korea. The Black Dragon Society's Pan-Asia rhetoric was deeply rooted in anti-Western sentiments. Due to the historical legacies of European and American colonialism and imperialism in Asia, by the early 20th century there was a strong dislike of the Western powers in Greater Asia. With their nationalist beliefs, the Black Dragon Society strongly opposed both foreign influence and beliefs. For example, the Black Dragon Society was strongly against the League of Nations, and believed that the founding of the League was another opportunity made by European governments to maintain an unequal international status quo. This anti-Western sentiment, coupled with the rising nationalism in Japan, gave way to nationalist support for Japanese leadership. Specifically, in 1917, the Black Dragon Society stated in one of their journals that, quote, "The threat that white people pose to the yellow people is now imminent. The Japanese Empire, as the representative of Asia, is the only one that can fight against and face the West as the backbone of the yellow race." Close quote. In 1924, the United States attempted to pass an immigration law in the Senate, effectively banning the immigration from Asia to the United States. In response to this bill, an unidentified Japanese man killed himself, cutting his throat and leaving 3 letters protesting the bill. Not long after, 2 Japanese students threw themselves in front of a train, one bearing a note that called for the boycott of American goods. Months later, protests had swelled to large degrees, and the Japanese public boycott of American goods had swelled. Another pillar of the Black Dragon Society was the support for the Japanese expansionism into East Asia, specifically Manchuria and Korea. Both of these areas were close to Japan and held large swaths of natural resources that benefited Japan in the following years with the looming threat of the Second World War. In 1895, Japan defeated China, and in 1905 defeated Russia in battles over who would dominate Korea. Before World War II, Japan conquered Manchuria, a region in northern China, mostly due to its mineral-rich land. The main reason for Japanese expansionism lay in the issue of raw materials. Japan, as a small island country, lacked large mineral deposits. China, especially in Manchuria, had large steel deposits which came in handy for funding the Japanese war efforts. With the combined platforms that fostered extreme nationalism, fueled anti-West rhetoric, and bolstered Imperial Japan's international leadership, the Black Dragon Society's ideologies further fed the growth of Japan's far right. The Black Dragon Society had a profound influence on the broader fascist movement in Japan through foreign policy. By 1910, the Black Dragon Society had over 1,000 members, including politicians, diplomats, and businessmen. Using a mix of both published journals and more subtle propaganda through politicians, the Black Dragon Society influenced the fascist movement toward Pan-Asianism and expansionist rhetoric. The first journal published by the group was called The Bulletin. When the bulletin was published, it gave people wider access to fascist ideology. The journal was then banned after only 2 publications due to the government's disapproval of its immoderate tone about foreign affairs. Despite the journal being banned, the wider public became more comfortable adopting more anti-Western propaganda. The Black Dragon Society played a pivotal role in shaping Japan's expansionist ambitions and fascist ideologies, which significantly influenced the trajectory of the Pacific Theater during World War II. Through their fervent support of Japanese expansion into resource-rich regions like Manchuria and Korea, the Society fueled Japan's imperialistic goals while also bolstering the nation's military capabilities with essential raw materials. Their propagation of extreme nationalism, anti-Western rhetoric, and Pan-Asianism through both overt publications and covert political influence galvanized Japan's far-right movement and set the stage for Japan's aggressive foreign policies. Despite facing censorship and governmental pushback, the Black Dragon Society's ideologies permeated Japanese society, contributing to the broader acceptance of fascist and militaristic doctrines. As Japan embarked on its path of conquest in the Pacific, the legacy of the Black Dragon Society's influence was evident in the unwavering nationalistic fervor that propelled the nation into one of the most devastating conflicts in modern history. The Society's impact not only immediately contributed to Japan's expansionism, but also to its lasting effect on Japan's wartime psyche and strategic decisions.